As law enforcement, lawmakers, and medical professionals work to combat the opioid crisis, those who have dealt with addiction certainly understand the struggle and the pain, and in many cases, how to help others. Carolee McGrath sat down with recovery coach Mark Jachym to learn more about the profession and his recovery.
I first started experimenting back in high school, 13, 14 years old, sneaking alcohol, beers from my family's cabinets and things like that. I had typical high school experience, typical college experience. It was just party time throughout the whole thing. What happened was I experimented a little bit with marijuana, wasn't my thing. As I got into college, there was a little cocaine, and the alcohol was the main thing that continued all the way throughout basically my entire life. And the substances that I tried outside of alcohol, whenever I wanted to just be done and say I was all done with these, I was finished. I never used them again. But when it came to alcohol, I couldn't stop doing that. That was my thing from the time I was probably 13 years old until I was 45. And that was just about 5 years ago.
And you became corrections officer.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about the pressures of that job and the drinking as well.
That I saw all kinds of things in there. There was fights, suicide attempts, you name it, I saw it. I don't think it got to me during the day, but I think that may have been part of a reason why I was unwinding, as I would call it, just to say, well, if you had a day like I had today, you would have a few drinks, or you would need to unwind with whatever I was doing at the time. It was pretty stressful. Some days were, just another day, and then there were other days where it was pretty hardcore violence. Again, seeing people attempt suicides or cut themselves is pretty traumatic to see, and that was like an everyday thing.
Did you ever think that you had a problem, or were you just unwinding at night?
I thought I was just unwinding. I never thought there was a problem until my life, into my 40s, I started having days where I'm just going to have one or two drinks and I'll stop there, and I would end up blacking out, passing out, and it became like a daily thing. I couldn't stop doing that.
And so this led to a few arrests as well?
Yes, I had gotten arrested for operating under the influence in October of 2013, and that was basically the beginning of a handful of arrests for multiple things, assault and batteries, violating probation. It seemed to be nonstop.
So what would you say was your rock bottom in everything that happened to you?
I would say that it was the last week of my active using. I had been arrested twice in the same week, both in Agawam. Both, I don't remember where I was when I was arrested, what happened. And then that night of the second time, I decided that I was just going to be done. I was all set, and I had to call my parents and tell them that I was done and I needed help. I couldn't do this by myself anymore. And, I was thinking about suicide, but there was too many people in my family and those close to me that I didn't want to hurt or do that to. So I just said, I'm done. If I'm thinking about this, I need to get help.
And how was that relationship with them? They had already been down this road a few times with you before, yes?
Yes.
Had you burned a bridge there?
I wouldn't say completely, but it was probably getting there. When I told them where I was, they pretty much had the typical, thought of, oh God, here we go again. And I said, I need your help. I can't do this by myself. I need help. So they said, what do you need? And I told my mother and my father, I said, could you please meet me at Westfield District Court in the morning? Because I have a funny feeling I'm not going to see you guys for a long time. And they said, yes, we'll do whatever we can. And they did. They met me at court the next morning, and they proceeded to give a Section 35 to me.
Explain what a Section 35 is.
It's a civil commitment, involuntary. I was willing to go, but I was also forced by the judge to go because, excuse me, they had, the multiple arrests, the just everything where I told everybody what I tried to do the night before. I spoke to the court doctor. The court doctor was very nice and said, I think you're at the end of your rope here, literally. And they said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to send you down to Brockton, the Men's Addiction Treatment Center. It's a civil commitment. You will be there for up to 90 days. This is the first step. You're still looking at possible jail time for the offenses that you've done over the last couple weeks, but this could possibly turn your life around if you work it the right way.
And it did.
Yes.
And so now, fast forward, you're now a recovery coach working with people who are struggling with addiction. Tell me about what a recovery coach is and where you had training for that.
I was working for another agency a couple of years back, and they had said there's a training coming up at Worcester State College or University, run by AdCare, and you can be trained to begin the road to your certification for a recovery coach if you're interested. And I said, you know what, I think I kind of want to do that. So they paid for everything, and I went and did that it took me just over a year with all the classes I had to take. And it's basically what I do now is I try to motivate people if they come to me. I don't go looking for people to work with. If somebody is struggling with any type of an addiction, I will be more than happy to present options of what they can do. I can give them a list of therapists to go and see. I can give them a list of, types of recovery meetings, different options. Everybody always thinks that it's just strictly AA or NA. It's a 12-step program. That's what you have to do, and that's not true at all. There's multiple pathways that you can use. So I just present that to people and let them decide, and if something doesn't work, we try a different thing.
And do you find that people, because you've been there, are a little bit more willing to trust you?
It seems like it. When I tell people, I don't share my story unless they ask. And when they do ask, I tell them, and a lot of times I get, oh, good, so you know what it's like. And I know exactly what it's like. So with that, it seems like people like to open up a little bit more. And then they listen because, if they haven't been to jail already, they might. If they haven't attempted suicide, they might. So it's just sometimes it's a really good conversation that the two of us have.
Does this put you at risk, your long-term sobriety at risk, going back and talking to people who are probably still using, right, some sort of substance? Do you ever worry about that?
No, actually I don't. I think it helps me because talking with everybody, it reminds me of where I was. I don't want to go back and do that again. I'm not saying that it couldn't ever happen, but the way my life is right now, I'm pretty sure I'm on a solid ground. But I don't take that for granted ever. But I think it does. I think it helps me every single day when I talk to somebody because I just remember what it was like, and it's nice to be able to share with people and present to them that there's life after what is happening currently.